Hi, I'm Lovely, and this is A Lovely Life. Today I'm really excited because this is my very first interview. Interviewing was something I wanted to do since a very long time. And today it's all the more special because I will be channeling Erik myself. You will come to know who Erik is and how I channel, and although I've just done it a couple of times. So we'll be doing that, and let's welcome my very first guest, Linda Hack. She's a light language channeler and also a very gifted psychic medium. She's been a good friend and is also a constant support throughout my own personal spiritual journey. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you, Lovely. I'm really glad to be here. I'm glad that I was selected to be your very first interviewee. It's very exciting for me.
My
Thank you
honor,
so
my
much.
honor. All right, yeah. So, first of all, I would like to know what is light language?
Light language is basically a vibration. And what happens when one speaks a light language is they are setting free vibrations. A lot of those vibrations are absorbed by those that hear and receive that. Perhaps they have something going on in their life and they receive that. But the main point of it is that it goes out into the universe and it helps cleanse, it helps bring in the light for the universe because it is a vibration. Once a vibration is released, it never goes away. It's very much like we are. We are energy. And when our physical body dies, our energy continues to live. It just changes form. And vibrations of language, it comes in many forms, the light language. It's identified in writings, it's identified in music, in art, in dance.
Yeah.
So there's song. There's many ways that light language is expelled out into the universe to be used for the greatest purpose of bringing light back to all of us.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it has something to do with healing a person or healing a condition, right?
It can. If one sets an intent to receive that, my clients do this. I also offer that on my website. That it's a healing modality. Once you receive the light language and you set your intentions for how you want that to work in your life, you can do like just a blanket thing, like say, okay, higher self, I am asking that any and all things that I need in my life at this time be taken care of or be healed. And you set that intent before you listen to the light language.
Okay. But yeah, there has to be some kind of belief, right? Maybe a
Oh,
skeptical.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that it can't work for them, because it can. The whole point is any type of modality at all whatsoever is, and a good way to talk about that is when you talk about test trials, and they give one group sugar pills and they give another group the true medication, right? Sometimes people taking the sugar pills get better.
Right.
Because they believe they're taking the real medicine. Exactly. And that's kind of how this works in any healing modality that uses energy. Your heart has to be open to receive it, and your mind has to believe in it and trust in it in order for you to accomplish what you want. If you walk into it skeptic, well, I'm going to prove they're wrong, this isn't going to heal me, and I'm going to prove it, not going to happen.
Yeah, I've heard that you go to a healer and all you need is to be proven right. So the healer would give that to you, right? Healer does what you need. Yeah. And people are like, oh, see, I told you it doesn't work. Yeah. But actually it's a good healer because she or he has given you what you wanted, right?
Exactly. And a lot of times I've come to realize that oftentimes that healing is received by the person, even though they're skeptical and they're really an unbeliever, but they may be on their path to awakening and to believing. And perhaps there are more things that are supposed to unfold for them on their path. Maybe new connections here, or maybe that they're supposed to read this, or they're supposed to read that. And the spirit is leading them to that point. Meanwhile, that energy is just lingering above them, waiting until they're ready to receive.
Yeah, yeah. So they're on the path, almost like on the fence. Yeah.
It can be, absolutely, absolutely. But it's still there, waiting for them to receive it.
Right. Okay. So is this something that is meant for only people seeking spiritual awareness or who would want to learn this healing modality, or it can be used by
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. And the neat thing about it is that once you share it, anybody who hears it, okay, no matter where they are on their path, at some point in time, if they are going to be an awakened soul, this is going to benefit them in some way. Now, I understand that some people are here and they're not meant. It's not on their path to be an enlightened and awakened soul. And that's okay, because that's the path that they pick for themselves.
Yeah.
But those that are, and especially the light workers, especially those that have come here and they're here now on earth at this time, and they are walking on their path and they know there's something, that they need to do. Their intuition, their heart is telling them. And those are the ones that it works the best for, because they're just waiting for those paths to cross. And I honestly believe that spirit brings us to where we need to be to allow that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like in
Yeah.
my case, right? The time
Yeah.
I met you on FB, and I
Yeah.
wanted to send and ask stuff. So it was the right time, right?
It is, and that's what happens too. You're curious. You were brought to that film that you saw. You saw that video. That video struck you. It struck your heart, and you're like, "Oh my God, I have to do this," because your intuition was telling you, "Okay, you're on the right. You're exactly where you need to be on your path to have this happen."
Right.
And that's exactly how it happens. And it doesn't mean that everybody has to be brought to me, Linda Lee. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
There are so many people out there that can do the same thing. One thing I pride myself on, though, is I am a spiritual medium. I don't do it for entertainment. I do it strictly, it's a strictly spiritual need for me to give. And it seems like all those that do seek me out, that's exactly where they are. They're on a spiritual awakening. They know they're being called to do something and they just quite can't see what it is or how to go about finding it.
Yeah, that was the case with me, right? I had no clue what I was writing, and you were the one. And
or why.
why? And what's the purpose? And I always believe, like, obviously, because there are no coincidences, like synchronicities is the thing, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That makes sense. Yeah, and there's something that I've seen even in your website called DNA activation. Could you elaborate what that is, what it does?
Okay, from what I understand, this DNA activation is each one of us as humans, we come in, and I can't remember off the top of my head how many strands we have. We have like 13 strands of DNA, and you see that little hexagon round thing with the little lines in it, right? I forget what they call it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it at the moment. But and there's some of that. I think there's 9 active, and the rest are dormant. They're just there. Nobody knows what they're for. Science doesn't know what they're for. They don't know why they're there. They consider them inactive and useless. Well, that's not true, because that is what we're activating. We're activating those other strands. I believe there's either 3 or 4 other strands. And once those are activated, it can actually open up your crown chakra and give you contact to your higher selves, give you also contact to, say you have lived other lives, galactic lives, or other kind of lives here on Earth. It opens up that portal for you. It gives you that ability to continue on your path. All of this can happen to you with or without this activation. But a lot of people seek the activation to help things along, to move things around. And it seems to all the information that I get back for those people who do use this activation, that things start moving for them. Things start awakening, things start unfolding. They start to realize what their path is. They're being taken, to, like you say, the synchronicities of, oh, okay. They got up that morning and they turned on the computer, and for some reason there's something on the computer that they didn't go searching for. Hey, pay attention to what's on your computer.
And it clicks.
Because spirit is working.
Yeah, right.
Spirit is working. That's happened to me more than once, many, many times.
Yeah, and synchronicities are some things that have been happening on a daily basis. And earlier I used to be like, awesome. And then I started searching that why more and more synchronicities. But now I get it, like, when you are close to your life purpose and you start realizing why you're here, and what exactly, or maybe like sort of understand what you're here for and what you want to do. That
Right.
makes sense, yeah. So is it like
Hmm.
something, the DNA activation, is it something really similar to a Reiki initiation? Is it like that? It's just,
I think so. I think you can receive the DNA activation through many different modalities.
oh, okay.
And I think that, and I don't know this positively, but that my intuition tells me that this is true, that many different modalities can help you do that DNA repair. It's just that
Yeah,
there are so many different modalities out there, and that's why all of us have different abilities. We don't all have the exact same abilities.
yeah,
And the reason is that is because one ability you'll resonate with, and another ability you might not.
yeah.
And
That's
that's
why,
why there's so many.
yeah, that's why they're the mediums, they all have. Not
Yeah,
everybody is a clairvoyant or a clairaudient, or like few people
exactly.
know it, right? A few people see. Yeah.
Exactly. And so we're all different. And the most important thing is to trust what you've received and trust and work with what you have and not go out seeking, saying, oh, well, I wish I could do that and I wish I could do that and I wish I could do that. Because that's not important. You are doing what you came here to do because this is what you designed for yourself. So embrace it.
Yeah, right. And it makes sense because, like, I am not, I don't, like, I write more. I don't speak.
Hmm.
I've just maybe spoken once or twice, few things when it has come. I don't as such speak light language. But, and I used to feel like, why I don't, because I'm into music. So I used to think that it's wonderful. And the songs in light language, what I've heard,
Hmm.
they sound beautiful. So I used to think, why not me? I'm just writing. But now, yeah, it makes sense. Maybe I'm meant to write, right?
Yes, you are meant to write, but I believe in my heart that anybody who wishes to speak the light language
Oh,
has the ability to speak it. It's just getting to the point that they trust themselves and they allow themselves to do it. One great way of doing that is by chanting. Just chanting. Just find a chant that you really like and just start chanting it. And when the words begin to change, let them go. Let
oh,
them go. When I first shared my light language in that small group, one of the women came to me right away and said, oh, Linda, you should teach how to do this. My mind was just bogged down. It was like, how can I teach something that was just given to me? It's
yeah,
not like I trained for it. It was just
yeah.
given to me. So I left that whole idea alone. That's why I said, well, I would have no idea how to teach it. Well, now I have a little bit better idea. And I also know that everybody, even you, have the ability to do it. It's just getting into
Wonderful.
that. It's just like channeling for the first time.
Yeah,
Just getting to that point
yeah,
where you trust yourself. You
yeah.
know, you, that's what it is. You go into a room all by yourself and you just do whatever you're doing. Nobody's watching, nobody's listening, and let it flow. And a lot of the people that I have as clients and a lot of people that have had my light language who didn't speak the light language now speak the light language.
Oh, wow. That's
So that
amazing.
has proven a lot to
So
me.
I'll have
Yes.
to give it a try. And
Yeah, you will.
it all boils down to trusting, right?
Everything boils down to trusting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes. Everything boils down to trusting yourself and trusting that you came here for a purpose. And all you must do to get that purpose and live that purpose is to trust that you knew what you were doing when you created that
Yeah.
before you incarnated. And you
Yeah.
incarnated where you are for a purpose as well.
Yeah. Right.
You chose that area for purpose. It was no accident that you were born where you were born and I was born where I was
Yeah. Yeah. True that.
born.
Yeah.